Never, ever let a client leave the salon unhappy. Never tell your client to wash it a few times and it should fade. Never tell them to live with it and then call you on Tuesday. If your client goes into her weekend hating her hair, you better believe she's going to be talking to anybody who will listen about it, and you, to all of her friends. And she'll not tell them that she asked for that level 4, that she pointed at it in the swatch book. She's just going to tell people you made her hair black and then you let her go into the weekend with it. Fix your mistakes, even if they're not your mistakes, they're your mistakes. Fix them while the client is in the salon. Very often, the problem is it's too dark. This words to live by: too long and too blonde. That is the motto of my company. Nobody ever cries if their hair is too long and too blonde. So if you've made your client's hair a little too dark, throw a few foils in the front. It's one of these things that what I always do, anytime I do a color, I blow dry the front panel of the hair immediately first before I do anything else, and I go through it with the client to make sure they're happy with the color. Not to really give them an option, not to say, oh, what do you think? But to say, oh my God, it looks amazing, because it does, because I always go a little too light. Always. Even if they wanted to go brunette, I always go too light. It's much easier to throw a toner on and deepen something or shift the tone and darken it a little bit than it is to have to re-highlight. But if you do have to re-lighten the front, make sure you didn't do an entire 45-minute blow dry from the back and then have the client say, I think it's a little too dark. And then you have to do it. You've wasted so much time. Don't waste time. Be efficient. If it's even remotely questionable, dry a big chunk, dry a gigantic V at the front of somebody's hair, blow dry it straight down, part it and say, what do you think? If they like it, then you can move on. If they don't, absolutely fix it right then and there. Never try to convince a client that hair that she doesn't like looks good. But, and this is a big but, always celebrate your work when it looks good. Oh my God, I think it looks amazing. Only if it does. If it looks like shit, don't try to convince her that it looks good. Okay? Have some morals. I've seen hairdressers do this where they're too busy to fix it, so they'll send them out with bad hair, or they try to convince the client that it's not black, or that no, it's even, and then you can see the highlights, and they have to take them outside into the sun so that you can see dimension in the hair, because in the salon it's totally monochromatic and flat. Well, if you have to drag a client outside to show her the color, chances are the color's not strong enough and you didn't do your job. Go fix it. Stop wasting time convincing a client that the hair looks good if they don't believe it. That is the most important lesson that you can learn. Too long and too blonde. Never let bad hair leave the salon. That's how you survive and thrive as a hairstylist.
Darling, don't you go and cut your hair.